We've all heard of beginner's luck. Well, one fall day in Somerset, a district in southwestern England, a farmer's son gave new meaning to the term. Using a metal detector for the very first time, he struck pay dirt, literally. Shapbrook Farm extends over 400 acres of English countryside, and Kevin Elliott's family have rented it for the last 35 years. 2 years ago, they purchased the land, and that's when Kevin's cousin Martin saw his big opportunity.
I'd been asking Kevin and his father for, well, quite a few years if I could come detecting on his land, but as at the time he wasn't the owner of the land, he was only a tenant, they couldn't grant me permission. In January 1998, they finally bought the farm and granted me permission to detect on it. But cousin Kevin didn't have the interest for the pastime that Martin did.
Well, Martin had been metal detecting for a number of years, and I knew he was a keen metal detectorist. But as far as metal detecting goes, I was not very keen on the subject. Basically, I thought all that metal detectorists found was rubbish, really.
Martin's been at it since he was 10 years old. He wasn't going to be put off by Kevin's lack of enthusiasm.
He arrived at the farm and he said to me, "I've got a spare metal detector, would you like to come along?" Reluctantly, I said, "Well, yes, okay." But the main reason was to show him what fields to go in, so I may as well be joining in the pursuit as standing around, as it were.
Okay, I'll set it up for you. Just, you know, keep it close to the ground, overlap your sweeps. And just...
Martin handed me his spare metal detector, showed me how to use it, the controls, told me what signals to listen for if it's a good object. Right, let's have a go. While he was getting his own metal detector out of his case, I started to walk through the gateway and started to pursue my way across the field. While I was making my way slowly, within a matter of 2 minutes, I got a signal. Got the spade, dug up whatever it was, and found a small silver coin. Hey, look at this, Martin. Found a coin. I thought this is just a coin, you know, no big deal, as it were. It's silver one, that.
Kevin was right. Finding an ancient Roman coin in Britain isn't all that unusual. The Romans occupied Great Britain for over 500 years, and during that time, they probably dropped a lot of coins everywhere. But cousin Martin was having a transcendental experience.
It's a denarius.
What's that then?
Roman silver. It's brilliant. I got very excited. I'd never found a silver Roman coin before, so to actually be with someone that found one was very exciting.
And he said, keep going, you might find something else. And we just pursued our way across the field, Martin in one direction, me in another.
And shortly after, I found my first silver Roman coin. So I thought to myself, 2 silver coins in the same field, there could be something very interesting here. So I then changed direction and made a beeline straight up towards the centre of the field and started picking up, you know, several more silver coins. I could see Kevin coming in the other direction. He was doing the same.
When we started finding coin after coin, and some of them were in 2s and 3s, I started to change my opinion on metal detecting a little. I thought this is quite good fun, actually.
It was like a trail of breadcrumbs, if you like. You know, I started off finding one coin, then another, a few paces afterwards. Shortly after that, I dug a hole. There was 2 or 3 in the same hole.
Martin had never found anything like this in all his years of metal detecting. He knew ancient coins were often buried for safekeeping, and this could be just the tip of an iceberg.
By that time, I was getting very excited. I had a good inclination there was something more interesting to be found out here.
Martin had no idea how right he was.
Kev, look!
What have we got? There's some in here.
Sometime in the distant past, someone had buried these coins, and they lay there undiscovered until Martin showed up with his metal detector.
They're everywhere in here.
At first, we were putting the coins in our pockets. After they started getting a bit heavy, I thought about taking one of my Wellington boots off and starting to fill that up. But, cool, I think you better go and get a bucket.
Well, the following day after we'd found them, Martin came back and he brought with him the actual Treasure Act, which he'd read up on that evening.
The Treasure Act? This is Britain's law governing the finding of treasure. And it happens often enough so that they even have a brochure describing the proper procedure. And the first thing you do is notify the district archaeologist.
When we arrived at the farmhouse, there was this site of packages of coins, and following the visit to the discovery site itself, we returned back to the farmhouse, and I actually came away with 9,200 coins in the back of the car.
According to the Treasure Act, Stephen Minett then had to pass the treasure on to that most imposing of English institutions, the British Museum.
The new Act actually defines very precisely what constitutes treasure, and briefly, that is an object of gold or silver that's at least 300 years old.
The coins were Roman, over 300 years old. Actually, many of them were almost 2,000 years old, and they were also most definitely silver. So Kevin and Martin had authentic, certifiable treasure. Well, actually, it was the British Museum that now had it, but Kevin and Martin weren't worried.
An important part of the Treasure Act is that the finder receives a reward. This could be part of the find itself or what is thought to be the fair market value of the find.
A group of experts meets, appraises the find, and comes up with a monetary value. Any museum in Britain can raise the amount and pay it to Kevin and Martin. If no one does, then the treasure reverts back to the cousins. But this whole process can take many months. Meanwhile, the experts work at determining the find's historical value.
The denarius was very much the coin of tax and of trade during this period of the Roman Empire. And probably the best analogy for it is to describe it as the American dollar of the period. It was accepted universally across the empire. But in many respects, its real value lies in the fact that it's led to the discovery of a very significant complex of Roman buildings, which we believe to be a previously unknown courtyard villa.
Which is why the coins were buried where they were, hidden under the floor for safekeeping. The occupants of this villa were most likely natives who had adopted Roman ways and had enough wealth to put away a fairly large sum of money.
There were no banks, therefore people had to put their wealth in terms of coinage somewhere safe, and very often this would have been to bury it.
You can see why the Romans picked this particular spot to build a villa. It's a very prominent spot, full view all the way around, just a fantastic place really. If I was going to have a house built, it'd be here.
So while Kevin and Martin wait for the appraisal, they find themselves back out in that field.
We've been back out here quite a few times since we found the main hoard, and well, we've searched it high and low, and you know, I don't think there's much left to be found here, to be honest with you.
Except for the day we were filming with them. While Martin was demonstrating how they had found the coins, guess what happened?
Is that one?
It's a silver denarius. Another one for the collection. It's in very good condition too.
Martin dutifully turned over the new coin, and it was added to the others. And then, at long last, 9 months after their discovery, the Treasure Valuation Committee finally announced the value of the find. The 9,000 silver denarii are worth $425,000. Kevin and Martin had literally hit pay dirt. Pay dirt more valuable than the farm itself.